Hi there. My name is Dr. Hettie V. Williams, and I am currently an associate professor of African American history at Monmouth University. I earned my PhD in history and culture from the Casperson School of Historical Studies from Drew University in 2017. I came to love history through the stories my parents told me. My dad was a Green Beret in Vietnam. He was actually one of the first African American Green Berets in American history. And he would sit us down, myself and my siblings, and tell us about his exploits as a soldier in Vietnam. And this gave me a love for stories and storytelling. History, after all, is the story of humanity. My mom also marched with Martin Luther King Jr. in the famous Albany campaign in Albany, Georgia in 1961. And so these rich stories told to me by my parents gave me a love of history. And I found out when I was in college that I could actually do this for a living, become a historian and a teacher, a scholar and professor. And it was at Drew University that I really learned to hone my skills and become an expert in the field of African American history with a focus on the 20th century. Oftentimes, my students ask me, why study history? And I tell them that the study of history allows one to gain a range of skills, and that historians are both scientists and artists at the same time. We are like scientists in that we collect evidence. Our evidence is called primary and secondary sources. We use these sources to weave together, get together a narrative of the past. And so, like novelists, we have to write narrative. We have to tell a story to explain what happened in the past. And so, as John Lewis Gaddis argues in his book, The Landscape of History, historians are both scientists and artists at once. And so the study of the past, I think, allows us to gain a skill set that might be applied to a range of professions. We learn to become better readers, writers, and thinkers. And this then can be applied to so many different professions: teaching, research, journalism, law enforcement, as well as business. There are a range of studies that show us humanities majors, and particularly those who major in history, tend to out earn those with degrees in different fields, at least 5 to 10 years beyond their degree. And it's because through the study of the past, the study of humanity, we gain a range of skills, as I have said. And so these skills can be applied to so many different professions. To become a professional historian, which is something I wanted to do probably at least since my parents told me these stories as a young child, it often necessitates a graduate level degree, either at the MA level or the PhD level. And I was able to do that at Drew University.